2026, I'm gonna achieve the full planche, the full front lever, and the one-arm handstand. So these are my goals for 2026, and yeah, I just wanted to start recording and start documenting this journey so that like I have something to look back on and that you guys can see what's going on behind the scenes. And yeah, I've been training calisthenics for quite a few years right now, and it has always been my dream to learn the planche and learn the front lever. And this year I started to take it more seriously because I've been training for hypertrophy most of my calisthenics journey. And I realized that if I don't give that up, if I don't change my approach, then I won't be able to achieve these skills. Training for these skills is not necessarily that complicated, but just you have to know a few principles and you have to act accordingly. For a long time I've been training, like I said, for hypertrophy, so like muscle gain, but also for mental toughness, I guess, which I think was very beneficial. I didn't necessarily take breaks, and I wasn't optimizing for proper recovery and all that jazz. Yeah, I was just doing my training every single day, no matter how I felt. And yeah, while that has some benefits, it will not get you the planche and the front lever and these static calisthenics skills. I had to make a decision. I've been thinking about it for the longest time, and finally I've been able to decide to say that I'm giving up hypertrophy. I don't fucking care about building more muscle, looking more jagged. I don't give a shit about it right now. Obviously, I don't really want to be that guy who's skinny and who is about 40 kilograms and because he's light, he is able to do skills like the planche. I don't want to be that guy. I want to have some muscle mass, and I want to look good, feel good about my physique, but I also want to achieve these skills. And right now, to make that happen, I need to take on a different approach. I have to train less. I have to train drastically differently. So this is a kind of a big mental shift for me, and I am still struggling with it as I am constantly overtraining. I'm training significantly less than I was when I was focusing on hypertrophy, but I feel like it is still a lot. And if you want to learn skills like the planche and front lever, you have to be able to train as frequently as possible. But that also means that if your frequency is very high, then you are not able to train with the same intensity each session. And you have to learn how to train sub-maximally. Not each session is about trying your hardest progression, building up so much fatigue that you can't walk the next day. You have to dial the intensity back quite a bit, and it's quite hard for me right now, but I'm constantly making changes. I'm constantly learning new things, and right now I'm gonna stop ranting and I'm gonna start my leg workout. As calisthenics athletes, we still don't want chicken legs, so so yeah, train legs, guys. Past few weeks were a little bit chaotic for me when it comes to training because it was filled with ups and downs. I have made quite a lot of progress, mostly noticeable in the one-arm handstand and the planche, but then I hit a plateau again because I was still overtraining. So I had to do a deload week, and after that deload week I was struggling. I just came back from a deload week and nothing seems to work out. Everything feels extremely hard. It might be that I am tired from a nervous system perspective. It feels very frustrating. But yeah, this is calisthenics training, so not every session has to be your best one. And yeah, there are just sessions where every set you are suffering, but that's just part of the game. So I'm gonna do what I can. I'm gonna keep it light today, and yeah, let's hope that the next session will be better than this one. So after these few shitty trainings, after the deload week, I started to get back into the groove again. And there was one day where the weather was just terrible. And so I decided to change it up a bit, and I went to a gym for my workout, which I rarely do. And honestly, I was surprised how much I enjoyed that, because for one, I had an amazing workout. I just crushed a front lever workout. I also added some one-arm handstands and muscle ups between front lever sets. So yeah, that was just a great session. But what ended up surprising me the most was how much I enjoyed actually being there and being around people who kind of do the same thing. Not really the same, because no one else was training calisthenics there, but it was just good to be around people who have a similar mindset as me. Lately, I've been trying to put myself in situations and in environments where I can meet new people. And I actually ended up meeting a few people and being a little bit more social, which is a goal of mine right now. But on this day, I wasn't really going there to meet new people. It actually, to be honest, it didn't really cross my mind at all. Although gyms are a great way to meet like-minded people. But I still ended up talking to 2 people, which was a pleasant surprise. And honestly, I was quite shocked how organically it happened. So yeah, I was happy about that. Also, an important realization for me lately was that I should be training even less than I am right now. I realized that I was doing kind of the same thing I was when I was training for hypertrophy, which was training until failure. And although I was doing easier progressions, I was still going until failure, but just with that progression. And in my mind, my training intensity was lower. Now, that is not particularly true in this scenario. So I realized that I have to train even less and actually stop my training before I end up feeling fatigued. So in the future, I'm going to let go of this mindset, and I'm going to train at different intensities, and I'm not going to go until failure. And that means that I will be focusing more on not burning out my central nervous system and letting it rest enough, while still training as frequently as possible and trying to get as much volume in as possible. Now, intense sessions are very important. They have their place in your workout plan, but not every single session has to be a high intensity day. I have fallen a little bit ill, and that's obviously not good for training. I do think it's probably because I went for a run in ungodly weather. There was strong wind and heavy rain, and it was cold. So that's not the ideal environment for running. But what can you do? If you have to run, you have to run. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go for the run. Here I am sitting in my bed and I can't breathe. But I also think that it wasn't purely because of the run, because I have done much worse and I was fine after that. The virus was probably in my system already. But anyways, I wanted to just talk a little bit about how these situations can be a positive thing as well. Like a lot of the times I don't let myself chill enough and think enough. I am just on the go and I want to train and then learning that skill and working and all that. And it can be a bit too much after a while. And these moments can serve as recovery. I have some time to actually think about things and just zoom out a little bit and kind of think about the systems I use on a daily basis. And it is a very refreshing thing, and I would advise you not to fall ill, obviously, but to schedule time for just thinking and just chilling and kind of recovering and all that, because it is extremely important. So I think more people have the problem of not doing enough, but at the same time, there are some people who will resonate with this. I think it's a very common phenomenon where we just want to constantly work and we just want to constantly grind and improve our output. You have to sit back and think about what you're actually doing and whether what you're doing is actually moving you closer to your goals. And so these times of reflection are very important. So yeah, right now I am just recovering a little bit. I am resting. I have my laptop here with me, and right now I was watching some CSGO clips. Yeah, although I don't play because I feel that it is way too stimulating, and actually watching it is way too stimulating. Sometimes it can turn your brain off, and sometimes that is what you need. And yeah, right now it's a moment like that. I don't want to think about anything. I just want to chill, and yeah, it is hard for me to turn my brain off, and things like this can actually help me do that. So yeah, I think these things can be used as a way to be more productive on the large scale, if you know what I mean.